Hi everyone, Andy Henderson, your Sherpa guide. This is Sherpa Guidance episode number 28. 28 episodes, can you believe that? That's just unreal. So this is about overwhelm. It's about being overwhelmed, and I'm going to share with you what I do when I feel a bit overwhelmed with everything. Because it happens often, you know. And I want to help you with anything I can to help you build and grow your dream business. Because I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission to impact the lives of 25,000 business owners in year 10 of my business in operation and making big leaps forward. And that's my mission. My mission is to improve people's lives, whether it's business owners or career people. I want to help them, and I've created something that's going to help, and I'm really passionate about in between, sessions and helping people directly. I like to do my lives. I like to share some of the things that have helped me in the past, so that in turn they may help you. It's part of my plan, it's part of my mission to help others. So today we're talking about overwhelm, and it reminds me, like a couple of weeks ago I felt a really strong feeling of overwhelm, and it reminded me back to a time when I was almost critically overwhelmed, and it felt toxic. It felt like there was toxins in my body, and there probably was, scientists amongst your people who know this stuff, cortisol and all that sort of stuff was building up, and it was in my corporate career and everything was getting on top of me, and it was a mess, everything just so much stuff going on, and I could not see the wood for the trees. And if anyone's seen me speaking on stage, I talk about a particular day. It was the 7th of January 2013 at 9:07 in the morning, where I was at my peak of overwhelmed. I'd taken over this business and I was running it, and I managed to take it backwards. It was failing and I made it fail even more, and I just didn't know what to do. I had customer problems all over the place. I had employee problems all over the place. People didn't trust me. People didn't believe in me. And, no matter what I did, I couldn't get a sense of progress. I couldn't get a sense of moving forwards. Everything just got on top of me. The numbers weren't right. The board were falling out with me. The owner was falling out with me. Everything, I couldn't make sense of anything. And, I felt similar on that. On that particular day, I know that date so well, because on the 7th of January 2013, 9:07 in the morning, I had my head in my hands. Hi Mark, how are you? Hi Gordon. I had my head in my hands in my office, and I know the date and time so well because when I had my head in my hands, I was staring down at the conference phone, and it had the date and time on, and it was the worst day of my life. I'd been MD for a year, the business was failing even more, and I had three options. I either get fired from a 20-year career, I leave a 20-year career, or I check into hospital, because I never felt so bad. I couldn't think of feeling so bad again the next day and still being alive to tell the tale. But on that day, everything changed, and it's similar to what happened last week, a couple of weeks ago, where I've been working flat out for 4 weeks, changing stuff, developing stuff, new things coming in, working with lots and lots of people. I felt exhausted, I felt tired, I felt like my home life was fairly poor. I felt like the customer experience I was delivering wasn't as good as I was capable of doing. I felt like the people I was working with were slowly starting to get a bit sort of antsy with me because, things weren't quite working right. I was getting stressed. I felt overwhelmed. I didn't feel as bad as I did back in 2013, but I could feel the feelings again. And I had to go back to what I did back then. And what I did was I had to sit down and really think about what was the big thing. What was the big thing that I needed to tackle? I couldn't tackle everything. We can't tackle everything at once. I had to think about, hi Michelle, I was thinking about, what was the one big thing that I had to tackle first? If there was one big domino that I had to knock over, which one would it be? And back in 2013, it was all about the employees. So we had customer complaints, I had problems with the people, I had problems with the board, I had problems everywhere. But I focused on, what's the main thing here? What's the big deal? What's the thing that I need to push down to make sure the rest of the stuff I could focus on in turn? Because you can't do everything all at once. So back in 2013, it was the people. So we focused on the people. What is it about the people that I needed to do? Well, I needed to create belief in the people, and I need to create high-performing teams with the people. So I systematically just use this exercise. And it's something I'm going to share with you on Wednesday. I'll do it with some slides, because on Wednesday lives, I share some slides and almost like a formula or a framework to do this. So today, if you're just watching Mark, Gordon, Michelle and others, I'm talking about overwhelm, and it's a big one, this, because I felt like it a couple of weeks ago, and it really took me back to where I was 2013. So what we need to do is the big thing in business is to keep the main thing the main thing. That's the main thing. The main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. So when you're looking at a problem or a set of problems, find the main thing. What is the main thing? So back in 2013, it was the employees, it was the people. I needed to create belief. They needed to believe in me. I needed to create trust. So how did I do that? So I needed to describe the problem in detail. Just write it down, describe the problem in detail. And then once I'd done that, I then focused on, okay, what's the solution? What solution do I need to implement here to make this work? And what we did, we started to do employee engagement surveys. We started to really listen to people, and we got their insights into what was going on. Because as a leader back then, I was only quite young, and I thought I had to have all the answers. I had to tell everyone what to do. That's not the case. That doesn't work. You know, it doesn't work in any business. You have to listen. You have to motivate and inspire people. But I didn't know that back then. So we did the survey, all the results came back, and yes, okay, they were pretty critical of me, but very, very quickly I turned it round. You know, within a week of getting those results, we created a top 10 list of things that our people said that were really frustrating them, the highest priority ones, and we published it back to them. I stood up in front of everyone and said, look, this is what you've said, this is what we're going to do. And we very, very quickly started to do it, and everyone sort of sat there and went, bloody hell, they're listening, things are happening. This is really good. Actually, the boss, I quite like this guy, because he's making my job easier. He's making it more enjoyable, and all these sorts of things. So that was a real result. And then what we had to do is almost like to figure out, before we implemented this stuff, so we had the problem, we wrote it down. We wrote down what we were going to do to fix it. And then we wrote down what was the positive outcome going to be if we did it. And obviously the positive outcome is, if you create belief and trust in your people and your employees, that creates high performance. And if you mix that with a compelling vision of the future, i.e. you paint a picture of where you want the business to be in the future, and you help people believe in that journey, create a map to get there, and help everyone understand what their role is in getting to that place, then that creates that belief and creates that high performance. So we did it, and we knew, you know, if we had that problem, we wrote down the solution, if we implemented that solution, we would experience that positive outcome. And just recently I did the same thing. So with me recently, you know, the last 4 or 5 weeks have been tremendously overwhelming. And then it all broke on a week ago last Thursday with so many people engaging with me, so many people booking on the programmes and, you know, seeking me out to get help in their business and their lives and stuff. And that's been really cool. But what I had to do to get rid of this feeling of overwhelm was look at the problem. Look at the problem. What was the problem? And the problem was I didn't feel I was delivering a good a service to my customers than I could have done. So then I thought, well, what's the solution? So I need to do X, Y, and Z to put that solution in place and put that problem to bed. And if I'd have done that, what was the positive outcome? Well, I'd feel a bit more free. I'd feel in my lane. I feel like I was actually serving people and delivering real value. And when you really focus on impact, you deliver real value to your customers. If you're into that stuff, then that gives you a great feeling inside. So by searching to create impact in others, your customers, you actually get a great feeling. You get that feeling 10x back to you. And that's what I did. So we implemented the stuff, and really, really quickly, within 4 or 5 days, everything changed. And that's what it's all about. You know, you've got to, if you're feeling overwhelmed, you can't tackle everything at once. You must break it down. You must find the main thing. What is the big domino that if you fix that thing, then everything else can be fixed underneath it. You can't fix everything at once. What's the big domino? What's that thing that you need to fix? What's that thing that you need to solve before anything else that you need to focus on? And once you know what that thing is, describe the problem in detail, describe what the solution is to fix that problem, and then describe what the positive impact is going to be if you implement that solution against that problem. And once you've done that, you feel overwhelmed goes, you feel clear and laser focused, and you start doing the thing, the big thing that's going to make the biggest difference. So guys, that's it. That's overwhelm. You know, it's a funny old place at the moment. We've got businesses up and down. We've got schools up and down. You know, we've got a pandemic going on, which I don't need to remind you about, of course. We've got increased lockdown restrictions. It's no wonder we're getting overwhelmed. Life's not easy at the moment. But carry on. Focus on the main thing. Keep the main thing, because that is the main thing. And use that framework. What's the problem? What's the solution I need to implement? What's the positive outcome going to be if I implement that solution against that problem? And that's going to help you with that feeling of overwhelm, because it's going to get you focused. Because some stuff we can't do anything about. Some stuff it's outside of our control. We've just got to crack on, ignore it. What's the main thing? Because the main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. And once you understand that and use that framework, that's going to really help reduce those levels of overwhelm. It's going to help you make you feel like you're making progress. And, you know, hopefully within a few hours, couple of days, whatever, that feeling of overwhelm is going to reduce. You're going to feel a bit more free in your lane, and you're going to be able to crack on without feeling so stressed. So I'm Andy Henderson, your Sherpa Guide, episode 28 of Sherpa Guidance. Hope you enjoy the stuff. It's nice to see you, Mark, Gordon and Michelle and others. And, you know, if you enjoy the content, if you implement anything I talk about on these lives, Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, just let me know. Just hit me up in the comments, put a message in there, and I'll respond. But it's great to see you. A fabulous day as well. So enjoy the sun, enjoy your work, and if you're feeling overwhelmed, just concentrate on the main thing. Okay, Andy Henderson, your Sherpa Guide. Just remember, you're just one step away.